good afternoon. Lizzie here. Okay, so told you about Broadhead in one of my shorts, but let me tell you about Boscobel. So, and I'll probably make a couple clips about Boscobel. Loved. Okay, so whenever I go to a town, I meet all the people that border the job site. On one side, there was this guy that was paraplegic. He had had a motorcycle accident, and that left him that way. He always watched the site for me. I mean, just always was, and he was very close to the site too. There was only an alley road between the site and his home. Behind, there was a lady and her husband. She was kind of cantankerous at first. Well, come to find out, there was a lot going on in her life, and one day we got to talking, and her bitterness came from she had lost a daughter in a car accident, and she just really hadn't gotten over it. The neat part about what she did though at home is she made quilts for homeless people, and that was her way to give back. But it was nice to take the time kind of to find out where her headspace was. The neighbor on the other side, there was two there. One morning we come to job site, and Johnny, one of my concrete guys, comes over and he's like, Lizzie, we got kittens over here. So in our concrete blankets, there was a cat that had her kittens. Well, we were they were baby, brand new, eyes not even open. And so we found out where they lived, and that guy was also, he was recovering from, he had been hurt or had a hip replacement surgery. And so anyways, he had a lady, she worked at Piggly Wiggly, which we got to be friends too. She would come by every day and bring him food. How kind was that? And so she was stopping by, and I seen her stop by, and I thought, well, I'll go tell her about the kittens. So the kittens got taken back over to his house and taken care of, but all of these people watched. In the next video, I will tell you more about Boscobel and my wonderful job site. It's not just about the construction, it's about the people that you meet too. I will get into the construction side of working with the guys, the wonderful people that I have up here in Wisconsin following me from job site to job site. So anyways, just love to share these great stories and these great gifts that I get in my life. Like, share, subscribe, and always make it one terrific day. Lizzie here. Okay, back to Boscobel. One day I'm sitting in my truck. In fact, I was talking to my mom, and I see this lady come out of her house, which I was told that, she had had a stroke. Well, at first I thought, well, there's something wrong with the way that she was acting. She had a ramp, so she's walking down her ramp and headed to her little trash dumpster there, but I could tell that she was, that maybe something was a little bit off. So I go over, tell my mom I gotta go, I need to go check on this lady. And so I go over, this is another neighbor in Boscobel, and she's trying to tell me something. but she can't because of her stroke. And so I told her, I said, it's okay. It's okay. I know that you're saying it in your head, and I know that you can't get it out to me, but it's okay. Point for me. So I had some pallets that I'd saved for some people that were going to come by a job site and pick them up. And so I set them in front of the dumpster. And then she's telling me, she walks across the road and she's pointing at the pallets. And I said, oh, you know someone that needs pallets? And she was like, she shook her head yes. And then she was still trying to tell me something, but I thought that's really what it was. And I said, if you can, just have them come by and, they can have the pallets too. So, anyways, I get her back over to her house and stuff and give her a hug and we say goodbye. And then the next day, her 2 daughters stop by. So I'm thinking, okay, they're going to pick up the pallets, right? No, they come by to thank me for, taking care of their mom. And I told them the story, and one of them even started crying. And I was like, oh, no, don't cry. But what she was telling me is I had taken one of the broken pallets and I lifted it over my head and threw it in there. She was telling me about how strong I was. She didn't really need any pallets, but it was so kind that her daughters stopped by to talk to me and we became friends. They would stop from time to time. And I will tell a story about one of the daughters and her situation and how neat it was that we became friends and that I could be there for her. But anyways, I would go from, I would go visit from, if I got finished a little bit early, I would go see their mom. And she made me the neatest necklace, and it's got a little angel and a cross and some stones on it, and I hang it from my rearview mirror in my truck. Just a reminder of how great it is to have such sweet people in my life, and don't ever forget, So, and I'm always like, God, use me how you need me, and He does, and look at all the gifts I get. Okay, guys, like, subscribe, share, leave a comment, tell me what your thoughts are, how much fun you have in your life as well, and make it one terrific day. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, Lizzie here. Okay, so I am going to tell you about the hotel I stayed in, American Inn, in Boscobel. So the people that owned the hotel were from India, and we became friends. In fact, whenever I left, they gave me a gift, and it was a purse from India, handmade. It was the sweetest thing. I carried it until the strap broke and I need to get it fixed, but I got so many compliments on that purse. And I think it was just the energy that it carried because it was so sweet and kind. Even men were like, oh my gosh, I love your purse. And it was just it wasn't real big, but I could just carry it, across. And I always so they gave me the best room in the hotel. It had a hot tub in it and everything. I mean, I was so spoiled. So I'm so thankful for that. There was a older couple that were named, I'm not going to share their names, but they stayed there all the time because they were having their house redone, but the man was sick, and so his wife You know, she always took care of him and went down whenever I was getting ready to leave. You know, she would always get him breakfast and stuff, and we would just have the best conversations, you know, just about life and different things. But we became such good friends, and we exchanged contact information. And sometimes, you know, I share my contact information with lots of people, and it's amazing how, you know, sometimes a year later people reach out to me. It so happened that I leave Boscobel, and I get a letter and cards from this couple, and they tell me what's going on in their life, and it's just so amazing. And, you know, how I get to meet all of these brilliant people. She's a very hard worker and taking care of her husband. Also, you know, trying to get everything done at their home where they're at. But it was nice of her to take the time to send me cards. And she's like, I think of you all the time. So whenever I get time, I need to go back to Boscobel to see all my people. That's what I say, all my people. So, because they give me so many gifts, and that was such a gift to get to give and see all of these great things that go on. I have so many stories to share of so many people and so many situations. It's unreal how blessed that I am. So I hope that y'all are enjoying hearing these stories, and I've got more to tell about Boscobel. So with that being said, like, share, subscribe, comment. Like I always say, share your comments, share your stories with me, share them with the world. People love to hear people's stories of inspiration, and I hope these are inspirational to you, to help you through, you know, other people and help them. Kindness doesn't cost anything, so let's all just be kind. But as always, make it one terrific day. Mwah! Lizzie here. I hope you guys are enjoying these stories that I'm telling about what happens with the people around my job site, and I'm still talking about more on Boscobel. So, guy that lives across the way, he comes by my job site. He's got one leg and drives this little red scooter. Always stops by just to say hello. Got him a 6-pack of beer and a Walmart sack and headed to the park. But just stops by to visit and see how things are going, and we became friends. Great guy. Well, one day he comes by and he's off. I mean, he doesn't see, you know, things are, I'm like, what's going on, man? And he said, well, tomorrow I gotta go to the doctor or to the hospital. We're gonna take my other leg. And he got very emotional and started crying and stuff. And so I told him, I told him that I would be thinking of him, and, you know, please let me know. Have somebody let me know how the surgery goes and stuff. But it was so sweet of him to always stop by and see me, and I felt really bad for the fact that he was fixing to lose his other leg, and it was due to blood clots that he had, you know, in his body, and they just couldn't get him to break up. So got a phone call though that they didn't end up having to take his leg, and it was so nice because afterwards, whenever he came by, of course we had conversation whenever he first told me about everything. And, you know, I told him how special he was, and that because he wanted to just give up. He just wanted to die, and how he needed to stick around so he could come by and, you know, find out how things were going on this job site for sure. So he came back by afterwards, and it was so kind. You know, he said, "You encouraged me, and I felt safer whenever I went in for my surgery." So he was such a gift to me, and I was thankful that things turned out the way that they did, but also for the fact that I made such a great friend, and he was an inspiration because he decided within himself to, you know, help things turn out within himself. Our mind's more powerful than we think. We let that override sometimes what we actually have at hand and how we can make a huge difference. So, okay, guys, like, subscribe, share your beautiful stories that you have in the comments. But as always, make it one terrific day. Woo-woo! Mwah! Lizzie here. So the more on Boscobel. Went to Casey's. Got to know everybody's name at Casey's. It was great. Loved to eat their ice, and they were always so happy to see me in the morning. There was an older gentleman that worked and some kids that worked in the afternoon. Built great relationships with them. They all learned my name as well, and they were always, it was, what a gift, you know, to get to know people like that. So the lady's daughter that I talked about in one of my other videos, I'm not using people's names because just to keep them private, but we'll call her Peggy. So Peggy had a son. While I was there, you know, Peggy would stop by a job site and just get a hug from me. She'd be like, "Lizzie, I just need to get a hug from you." And so I would just give her a hug, and we would chat for a little bit, and off we'd go. Where her son tried to commit suicide, and, you know, we talked things through, and he was placed in a, you know, psych ward and stuff for a while, and, you know, I was hoping that things were getting better. I had to go back to Boscobel after I left, and the nice part about whenever I went back was 40 plus people stopped to see me. I swear they put a news flash out, "Lizzie's in town." So many people stopped. I mean, from the electric people, the inspector, just everyone. The person that previously owned the property, all of the neighbors. It was such a gift. The guy that was inspecting what we were taking care of, he was like, "Does this always happen for you?" And I said, "Well, yeah, kind of. It does. I always get these great gifts." But Peggy came by job site. She sees me and she stops and she's like, Lizzie," and I'm like, "Peggy, what's wrong?" I could tell something was wrong. Well, that morning her son had committed suicide, and the gift for me, it almost makes me cry. The gift for me and her was, you know, I got to give her a hug, and she was like, "I needed you to be right here for me." So it's amazing the paths that we cross and the things that we get to give other people as well as the gifts that they get to give us. And that was a gift to me, to be there for her. And we've remained friends. All of these great, fabulous people that I meet remain friends with me, and I get phone calls from them from time to time. So more on Boscobel later, or I will make another video. But like, subscribe, share, leave me a comment, let me know about your life and the great adventures and different things that happen for you and the blessings that you get. So, and as always, make it one terrific day. Mwah.